Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Brain Muffin at the Movies. And here we have some more speculation. Just when you thought it was safe to speculate again, we have more speculation. So this comes from cheatsheet.com. What about Chris Evans? We know Captain Marvel survives Endgame, but for all intents and purposes, yeah, he's more or less on the end. You know, he's aged, he's lived his life with his life with his sweetheart, and so what's next for Chris Evans? Can he be in a new MCU movie? So here we have, we'll pick it up at the second paragraph. Marvel, secretive as ever, is not expected to announce its next slate of movies until after Spider-Man Homecoming swings into theaters in July. Okay, this is June 1st. Well, they've already introduced, they've introduced some of those movies, but not all of them, right? We know we're going to get a Wasp movie. We're going to get another Captain Marvel movie. They're shooting right now a Black Widow movie. So this person might be a little behind, but that's okay. Let's find out what they also have. Entertainment websites apparently have played an elaborate guessing game about Marvel head honcho Kevin Feige has up his sleeve, so much so that every list of guesswork is different. There we go. That's good. Keep the fans guessing. While we don't know for sure what Marvel is planning, we can safely assume that Chris Evans, much like his characters, fulfilled his duty and is happy to go home and be a mensch. Still, that doesn't stop fans from wondering how Evans could return. Well, I haven't read this article, but one thing I could think of is if he and Peggy Carter had children. Let's see, that was in the 40s, right? So to be their grandchildren would be the right age, potentially. Now to be right. Let's see. Well, that they would be born in the 40s, so maybe great grandchildren. Not sure. No grandchildren. No, they're great grandchildren. Yeah, they're children's grandchildren. Anyway, there's a way there that maybe this gets passed on, and we see him as his grandson or great grandson picking up the Captain Marvel shield. That would be interesting. So let's see what this author thinks. If you're one of the small numbers of people who haven't said, okay, well, forget that. At the Endgame, Captain America goes back in time to replace the Infinity Stones. That's caused so much trouble. The other Avengers seem to have trouble bringing him back, but only a couple of minutes later, they spot an old man sitting on a bench nearby. That man is Steve Rogers, who explains his mission was successful, but he declines to share details of what he did. He hands over his shield to Sam Falcon and says farewell. His longtime friend Bucky. The movie's very last scene takes place in the 1940s. As the camera moves into a house, we see that Steve has chosen to spend with Peggy Carter. So again, this would be my parents born in the 40s. So yeah, their grandkids would be in their 50s. So their great grandkids would be the right age to pick up the mantle, right? Potentially. They'd be teenagers, early 20s, depending on exactly when, or maybe mid 20s, exactly when children were born. So we don't see Captain Marvel exploits and return. Okay, so now here we go. Very fair point. I can see ahead where they're going. The Disney Plus streaming service. We could get some movies, right? Some things that Captain America could have been doing behind the scenes without affecting the timeline, or maybe actually influencing the timeline in ways that we didn't see. Which is planning a series about Loki's mischief. We could definitely see that. And so we could get some things there. It's also possible that Evans could pop up in Spider-Man Far From Home, just as he did in Homecoming, with one of his hilarious earnest public service announcements. Yes. Having cracked that joke, maybe it's kind of revisiting old territory, right? A few of the many lists of upcoming Marvel movies show a Captain America movie of any kind, not even for his successor Sam. Sequels to Black Panther, yep, Captain Marvel, or foregone conclusions. And now there's a Black Widow solo movie ready to roll. So that's good. Contend to ride off in the sunset. But, you never know. He is a fan favorite. Looking back at Captain America's journey, his unlikely turn, it might be best to look rather forward. So the first Avenger. So this is, this is his story arc. And we don't know why. Is there anything in here that I'm not? This was a Boy Scout. Boy Scouts make for dull heroes. Doesn't make have a secret identity to play as Christopher Reeve did. Yet beneath all that square earnestness was a steely resolve that became stronger and more interesting as time went on. Yep, I actually like that one. That's probably my third favorite Marvel movie. I still like Iron Man, and then Thor, and this would be my third favorite. Thor and Iron Man, it really toss up between which I have 1 and 2. This would be a third, and then the rest of them I don't give a crap about. They either were dull or repetitive or horrible. The Avengers was okay. I take that back. The Avengers was okay, But the rest of them, yeah, not so much. I didn't have much of a solo here. Yeah, of course. Let's just skip this. Sorry, this is just recapping. No hiding the beard this time. Infinity War. So anyway, not a whole lot of speculation here, unless these things are in other articles. Yeah, I could see a TV show or the Disney Plus show that would some more exploits of Captain America. Now, obviously, he was frozen in and then thawed out in the original timeline, but it doesn't mean he couldn't have been doing things. Perhaps even known by a few secret agents. That way they know, okay, we have to preserve this other guy. He could be he could even be saving himself, right? There could be some other, especially Soviets or somebody to get a hold of something they try to get a hold of, could play a little bit into the creation of the Winter Soldier as well. So there is some potential there, maybe some miniseries or stuff like that. I also could see him coming back as his great grandson, playing him, and maybe just changing something about him. Maybe he's got a scar, maybe he's got different colored hair, something like that. But I really don't think we're going to see, as the Phase 4 moves forward, I think we're going to see a huge drop in people going to see these, and some normies are going to keep seeing them, but there's a lot of people. Endgame was so well done for them. It's so well tied up, the MCU, that it's really, there's not a whole lot. And now I wouldn't be surprised as Phase 4 goes, we start getting movies that are somewhat connected, but really more standalone, and the MCU itself just kind of passes off into the night. And this incredible, great experiment that they started with Iron Man and built over all those 10 years, just kind of returns back to the normal superhero. We'll just have more of them, but it's not to say that they may not then take a pause and reset. And so you could get a reset, a pseudo reboot, if you will, of parts of the MCU down the road, and have Chris Evans come back as Captain America, maybe in some time travel piece or something, as an older actor, obviously, being say 5-10 years down the road, and being that as well. That's another possibility. So what do you think? Are there ways ways you could see Chris Evans coming back? Now, granted, these were coming back as Captain America. That's not to say that he couldn't be cast as another character, maybe playing a character trying to look like Captain America or something like that. And I still think we have this is, I think, a good idea. I mean, not necessarily a good idea, a good possibility, especially to keep if Disney Plus doesn't go very well, to help kind of spur that along. You could have a Captain America miniseries, or, say a 6 or 8 episode series to help that as well, and kind of give some backstory, kind of like what we had with Agent Carter, but maybe now he's there, and it's just maybe the two of them doing some things together. Who knows? All right, so what do you think? So let me know in the comments below. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sharing everything, and we will see you. See you at the movies. Bye. Okay. All right. 3, 2. Yeah, that helps. All right. Thank you. 3, 2, 1.